Hi, I'm Beth Byzantiner. I'm the assistant head of the upper school at Harvey. But my most favorite time of the day is when I get to be in the classroom. So I'm an English teacher and I also teach Senior Bridge Seminar. During the summer, my co-teacher, Mr. Alexander, discovered this program in Mount Kisco, Rome. And he asked me to go visit. And when we arrived at Rome and met the individuals who run this parkour adventure type of place, it just seemed to fit with the philosophy of Senior Bridge. Because Senior Bridge is all about how we inspire our seniors, their last year at Harvey, to be adventurous, courageous thinkers. The mission says lifelong learners. And Rome seemed to have components that would let our Senior Bridge classes get together and experience an adventure away from Harvey. A lot of Senior Bridge has to do with communication, has to do with stretching, maybe moving beyond your comfort level. Recently in Senior Bridge, we've been working in small Socratic circles to share our thoughts about ethical issues. That takes some courage. Being at Rome was a physical and sort of emotional piece as well, in that kids were encouraged to try some of the physical structures, maybe bounce on the parachute floor or the pillow floor, try some flips under the supervision of these two instructors who have also lived their lives, so taking risks and also engaging in their passion.
I'm Joe Canato, and the owner and creator, co-founder of Rome Further Athletics.
I'm Zach Kekak. I'm one of the program directors at Rome and one of the other founders.
I've been doing parkour since 2004, and I've been coaching since 2011. And so that's my main focus at the moment: coaching, parkour, and also running a business. And that's like my main focus.
And what are some of your key values that you like to use in your work with parkour?
It's a good question. There's a lot of them, but the biggest one probably relates mostly around just good values as a whole, right? Whether that's the community element, working together, hard work, like having a good work ethic, whether that's just for yourself or when you're working with others. So there's a camaraderie to it, but there's also this individualized element too, where you could really choose a focus that's specific to you, and whatever that is, there's never really an end. It's just self-improvement continuously.
I think I was like 14 when I found parkour, and I had done all the traditional sports up to that point. None of them really stuck with me. This is a very common story with people in parkour too. When parkour first started to come over to the US, it kind of came in the form of certain YouTube videos. There were some famous ones you can still find online now. I happened to just randomly come across them, saw them, and was like, this is what I want to do, and then just started training. And a small community started to develop, like the East Coast, that we became really close with, are still close with to this day. Some of them are gym owners in other states. And it was kind of just from there on the only thing I really wanted to do from an athletic point of view.
I also, had a similar story in the sense I grew up with traditional sports, enjoyed them. Mostly baseball and basketball were the two main sports of focus, but there was always something missing, and I think it was the creative elements, right? There's like a set understanding of what you're supposed to do in traditional sports. But if you have a creative mindset, parkour kind of allows the opportunity to kind of express yourself through movement. And there was an element of that I really connected with. Yeah, through Rome Further is probably the main element, but then things happen outside of that, like even working with you guys and having opportunities to showcase what we've experienced through parkour, and how it could help others. And that could be in any form, really, because there is that philosophical art and discipline element to it. There's so many different experiences that I've had that relate to parkour, and I think helping people through story as well too. Like to talk today about our story and where it's led, especially thinking from the point of where I was in my senior year up until now, and just adding value where I can through parkour, and hope to continue doing that.
It was an awesome experience. It's nice to break the routine of Harvey and give them another activity that allows them to practice the skills we've been working on in class. And I think they did those while having fun on the obstacle course. So it was a wonderful morning.
I mean, parkour I've been doing it for 16 years, and I could probably say I've averaged like an hour or two a day training ever since I started it. Um, Parkour obviously has a lot of physical elements to it. Like you look at it, and it's a very physical discipline. Um, but at the very least, for us, there's a massive mental component to it, of decision making and like risk assessment. Because you can look at high level parkour athletes and see what they're doing and think that that's dangerous or difficult. And difficult, yes. Dangerous, no. If it's done right. So basically, that risk assessment comes into play with so many other options in your life. Like with Rome, for example, there was a long period of time of uncertainty of whether or not it was going to happen. I always believed it would, but until it's fully formed, you can never have a complete guarantee. And so there's a level of risk there that a lot of people might not want to take, but you become better at assessing risk in general from parkour. It kind of shapes your mind to do that sort of thing, to constantly look and reevaluate something that you think might be difficult or inhibiting and try to see other potential routes to figure it out and make it happen. So that's pretty much like a daily thing for us. Like that comes directly from parkour.
There's an element too where you might have some of these values already, wherever you learn them from, whether it's like from your family, community in some sense, like whoever you may be learning your values from. And then parkour kind of is an extension to it, for you to kind of like even go deeper in it and hold those values even stronger. Maybe you don't necessarily have values and you're searching for those, and parkour could be a way for you to connect with a value system, right? It's really open to anyone, and people use it in different ways. In the early days of parkour, a lot of people would tell their stories about their struggles, whether it was like there's kids with drug addiction and they got off of it through having a focus with parkour and the mindset. There's early days where parkour was really helpful to people. Now there's some different things because a lot of the eyes are towards just the physical elements of parkour. Nothing wrong with that. But that's also another thing I could go deep into. But I think there's a nice connection with the values in parkour and values that other people may have, and it just makes them even stronger.